You're working 50, 60, maybe even 70 hours a week. You're exhausted. You're stressed. And somehow, you're still broke. Meanwhile, there are people working half as much as you who are building real wealth. So what's the difference? Today, I'm breaking down why working harder isn't making you richer and what you should be doing instead. Look, I'm not here to tell you that hard work doesn't matter. It does. But if you think grinding yourself into the ground is the secret to getting rich, you're playing a game you'll never win. Let me explain. Here's the problem with working harder. When you work a job, you're trading your time for money. And time is the one resource you can never get back. Think about it. If you make $20 an hour, working 40 hours gets you $800. Working 60 hours gets you $1,200. Sure, that's more money, but you just gave up 20 extra hours of your life. Hours you could have spent with family, building a side business, or actually enjoying your life. Rich people understand something most people don't. They don't trade time for money. They build systems that make money work for them. They invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, things that generate income while they sleep. Warren Buffett said it best. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That's not motivational. That's a warning. So if you're constantly working overtime, ask yourself this: are you building wealth, or are you just surviving? Because there's a massive difference. Here's the harsh truth. Working more hours doesn't make you more valuable. It just makes you more tired. Let's say you work in customer service, making $15 an hour. You could work 80 hours a week and max out at around $60,000 a year before you literally collapse. But if you spent just 5 hours a week learning a high-income skill like copywriting, web development, or sales, you could double or triple your income within a year. The difference? You're increasing your value, not your hours. I see this all the time. People grinding at low-paying jobs, complaining they don't have time to learn new skills, but they somehow have time to scroll on their phone for 2 hours a day. You have the time. You're just not using it right. Rich people don't work harder. They work smarter. They focus on skills that pay. They invest in themselves. They read books, take courses, find mentors. They understand that one high-value skill is worth more than 1,000 hours of low-value work. So stop trading more time for the same hourly rate. Start investing time in becoming worth more. That's how you actually get ahead. Let me hit you with some reality. The system you're in, it's designed to keep you working, not make you rich. Your employer pays you just enough so you don't quit. And you work just hard enough so you don't get fired. That's the game. And the harder you work within that system, the more valuable you make your employer, not yourself. Think about it. You work overtime. You take on extra projects. You stay late. And what do you get? Maybe a 3% raise if you're lucky. Meanwhile, your boss just bought his third rental property. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow, but I am saying you need to start thinking like an owner, not an employee. Because employees trade time for money. Owners build assets that generate income. Start a side business. Invest in dividend stocks. Buy rental property. Create a digital product. Do something, anything, that creates income outside of your 9 to 5. Because the moment you realize your job is a tool, not a destination, that's when everything changes. Rich people don't have one income stream, they have multiple. And they're not working harder in all of them. They're building systems that work without them. This is the big one. The real reason working harder isn't making you richer. You have no leverage. Leverage is how you multiply your efforts without multiplying your time. And there are 3 types: labor, capital, and media. Labor leverage is getting other people to work for you. That's why business owners get rich. They're not doing all the work. They have 10, 50, 100 people working toward a common goal. Capital leverage is using money to make money. That's investing. You put $1,000 in the stock market, it grows to 1,100 without you lifting a finger. That's leverage. Media leverage is the most powerful. That's code, content, and products that work for you 24/7. A YouTube video you make once can generate income for years. A course you create once can sell 1,000 times. That's leverage. When you're just working harder at your job, you have zero leverage. It's 1-to-1. 1 hour worked equals 1 hour paid. But with leverage, 1 hour of work can generate income indefinitely. So ask yourself, what are you building that has leverage? If the answer is nothing, that's your problem right there. Here's something nobody talks about. When you work yourself to death trying to get rich, you end up spending all that money trying to get healthy again. I've seen it happen. People work 70-hour weeks for years, destroy their bodies, then spend their savings on medical bills, therapy, and medications. What's the point of making an extra 20 grand a year if you're going to spend 30 grand fixing your back, your heart, your mental health? Rich people understand that health is wealth. They work out, they sleep, they manage stress. Not because they're soft, but because they know a broken body can't build an empire. You can't outwork a bad strategy. And if your strategy is grinding until you break, you're going to end up broke and broken. That's not a win. That's a loss on every level. So here's what you need to do. Stop working harder and start working smarter. Number 1, learn a high-income skill. Pick one and master it. Number 2, build leverage. Start a side business. Create content. Invest your money. Number 3, focus on value, not hours. What can you do that makes you worth more? Number 4, take care of your health. You can't build wealth from a hospital bed. And number 5, think like an owner, not an employee. Your job is a tool. Use it to fund the life you actually want. Working hard is important, but working hard on the wrong things will keep you broke forever. Work smart. Build systems. Create leverage. That's how you actually get rich. If this helped you, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment telling me what skill you're learning this year, and I'll see you in the next one.